that's not what we are put on this planet for. We're put on the planet to be positive, to be good people, I believe anyway. So yeah, surround yourself with a good network of people. Like, do they support you? And even if they don't necessarily support, do they understand it? You know, have you spoken to them and told them your journey that you're going on and why you're doing it? You know, they might not understand it. And lastly, do they respect it? Because, you know, in my group of friends, for example, none of them go to the gym, really. One or two exercise infrequently. I am the only serious, dedicated gym goer out of my home friends, where I live. And they respect that. They leave me to it. They love it. They appreciate it. You know, a couple of my other friends love going out drinking cocktails every weekend, and I respect that. That's their life. That's what they're happy doing. Yeah, we all have different paths. We're humans. We're old enough to live our own lives, but still respect and support each other, really. So get your circle tight, as you'll find going in the industry, any fitness industry, whether it's competitive bodybuilding or what. Your circle will change the more you get into fitness. I find now, like, I personally don't like going out into busy nightclubs and partying. It's never been my scene. I've done it to try and fit in socially, but it has never been what I wanted to do. I find going into a gym around the country, having a road trip, I find that more fun, more beneficial. Going and meeting new people, seeing new people train, meeting different people in their gyms, the owners, and just being around different atmospheres. To me, that's a night out. We're on Thursday today. Tomorrow I'm going to pick my new bikini up from Sammy Mansley for the British. So I'm going to be in Halifax. Normally would train at Body Station in Halifax because it's a great gym, great equipment. But I'm actually going to come back to Leeds and I'm going to train at Ultraflex in Farsley, which is Charlie Marden and Mike. I'm just going to call him Mike the Machine because he is a machine. I'm going to go train at their gym, and it's an awesome gym. They've just had it all kitted out and spent a fortune on quality equipment, lots of dumbbells. It's insane. So I'm going for my last big beastly back session. There on Friday, back to Lincoln, and then on Saturday I'm going to go across to Iron Athlete in Rotherham, which is Jim Nuttall, Cuba, Sealand, and Fadzi, Sam, and I don't know who else owns it. I think there's a few of them. Going over to that gym, awesome atmosphere. Again, about a 45-minute drive from my house, but I enjoy it. I feel when I go there, I have one of the best sessions. And I'm actually going to go for my last leg session there because the equipment, I've not trained my legs there yet, but it looks sick. So I've only ever trained my back when I've gone there, so I'm switching it up. I'm going to train back at Ultraflex. I normally always train my legs there. And I'm going to train legs at Iron Athlete. So yeah, it's my social circle, really. So yeah, you just want to surround yourself with good people around you, long story short, because you are going to have your ups and downs emotionally and physically. You're going to feel crappy the more you get into your prep. You know, like I say, you're gonna have those times where you feel really good and you're on top of the world and you think, yeah, I'm looking sick. And then you're gonna have times where you feel flat, you feel fat, you feel skinny, you feel like your abs aren't there. I mean, you all have it. It just depends on the day. Like I say, hormonally, bodily functions, type of food you're eating, you're bloating. Be really in tune with your body because your mental state can really drive you in the right or wrong direction. So yeah, you just want to make sure you're in the right place, really, and you've got the right people around you. I have a coach. I don't really need a coach as such. I could prep myself. I think I've got a good mind for it, but mentally I need a coach. I need someone when I wake up, like every day, probably the past month, where I've woken up and my coach will go, okay, cool, morning, how you feeling? And I'm like, how am I feeling? Shit. I look wank. I look shit. I'm fat. My abs are shit. I'm shrinking. I look horrible. And he'll go, no, you're looking good. You're on track. All right, okay, nice one. And then I'm fine. Or they're there to pick you up or to guide you and see how you're feeling. If you're feeling tired, if you've got energy, what your energy levels are like, you always need that eye, I think, to just look over you, really. Whether that's a coach or whether you just have a friend looking at you. Another one I think is a really, really good point to make is social media. It's shit. It is amazing in some ways that it can be for interacting with people and to do what I'm doing. Get yourself out there, meet new people, talk about things. The downside to social media is you fuck yourself. In a word, you compare yourself to other people. You never feel like you're good enough. You are always comparing your physique. I've done it. I did it last year and I was a bloody nightmare for it, where I knew the show I was doing and I was looking at my competition all the time, and it's not healthy. This year, I've stayed in my own lane. I focused on my own goals. I couldn't give a shit who I'm up against in that British final lineup because I'm doing me. I'm bringing my best package to the stage. I know I've already beaten my last year's package by a clear mile. So I've won. And the trophies that you get are the bonus. But this sport is body building. It's in the name. You're building your body. So therefore you want to progress. So as long as you're making improvements, you look a bit different than what you did last year. Doesn't have to be loads, depending on the criteria of your class. As long as you're progressing year on year, then you're doing amazing. But the one thing you have to do is stop looking at your competition. Stop it. Because you're not them. In a word, it's your journey, it's your progress, it's your body. You don't have their body. I get a lot of people that will message me and be like, oh, blah, 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 your glutes, your bum, oh my God, your legs, like your shape. And it's like, that's my shape. That's, I have worked hard for it, don't get me wrong, but genetically, my shape is a tiny waist, big hips and thighs, and very, very fortunately, big glutes. I have developed them and I have worked on them, but that's my body. You have to learn what your best features are and accentuate them. We're all at different starting points. I could look at my competition in this British final lineup. These girls have got 2-3 years training on me, a lot of them. They're a lot denser than what I am. But am I scared? No, I'm a fuck scared. I'm not scared. I know what I'm bringing to the table, and I know my package is unique. And that isn't in a big-headed way at all. But I know and I'm confident in myself. I have focused, as I put on my last vlog, I focused on this in my off-season, and I made sure I felt happy. Number one, I'm happy. Number two, I don't have that negative energy. I will not tolerate and allow any negativity surrounding me. I get in times there are some negative aspects that go on in your life that you can't run away from, but I will not tolerate people saying nasty things, people nastily criticising me and being negative. I see it as bullying and I see it as being unkind, and I will slam it down and shut it down the moment anybody tries to do that with me, because I don't need that in my life. I would never do that to somebody else, so don't do it to me. And you should be like that too, you know? Be in a good place. Don't have that negative energy around you. Stop looking at your competition, because you're creating your own negativity. You know, just get yourself in a really good place. I read a lot of mindful books, and I study study, you know how we call it, studying, but I read a lot into mindfulness and how to kind of be in tune with my mind and my body. And I kind of am at a place where so many people, you know, I'm single, I meet guys quite a bit, and they message me, and the one thing that they'll always say to me is that, I kind of get the impression that you're not really bothered. And I'm like, well, no, it's not that I'm not bothered. I'm just so relaxed, and I'm just so happy with my life that unless you're bringing something to the table that's going to interest me, I'm not going to go out my way, because I'm happy with my life at the minute. You're only going to be a bonus to my life. The same with my friends, you know. I don't need more friends in my life, but if I meet somebody and I think, do you know what, fucking cool, I really like you, you make me feel good, you perk me up, you make me happy, and I like your company, you're a laugh, then I'll introduce them into my life and I'll talk to them and they'll be there. So yeah, stop watching your competition, get off social media if it's going to be a problem, just monitor it a little bit. Get a good coach, always a recommendation. And the main thing is just supplement right. I will cover this in another vlog, because this one's banging on a little bit. But just make sure you take the right supplements for health, for vitality in this sport. It isn't the most healthiest of sports by the time you get to stage ready, if you like. But I try and promote it and try and do it in the healthiest way I possibly can for my body. And I think I'm in a fantastic place at the moment, that to say I'm a week and a half out and I haven't got any makeup on today, I feel I look well. I don't look, you know, some people are on death's doors. I'm very thin in the face. You'll see that in an off season when my chunk comes back. But I feel healthy. I feel well. My gut health is there. My mental state is fantastic. Physically, I'm fucked. But that just is what it is at this stage. I'm just nearly a week out. But as a whole, I'm fine. You know, I'm good. I can train. I can push myself to train, and I can get by and do it. So yeah, that's just a little bit of another ramble, because it is a long ramble. It's probably even longer than the last one. But give me feedback if there's anything you want me to talk about and to discuss. I've got so many different ideas that I am going to go on, so I'm going to bombard it all the time with different ones. Oh yeah, look at this is the tightness completely lost where I was now, so I'm just gonna go do this all the time. But yeah, anything you want me to cover, hit me up and we'll get going.